Okay, happy Friday, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Super excited about today's session. We have a two special people that I consider as well as good longtime friends, Branden Lowder and Tammy Faecher. And Tammy is traveling, so you're only gonna get to hear her sweet voice and see the beautiful face of Branden. So, hey, we got the best of all worlds. How about that?
Right?
Right.
Right. Here, I can hold her up.
Now you're not showing. Now you're just showing off. Yeah, exactly right. Do like the 50-50. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us on a busy Friday. And you guys, I mean, we only have about 30 minutes or so to share a little bit of the good stuff. But between the two of you, I mean, it's years of experience as a agent, broker, administrator, operator, team leader, businesses owner, and of course, also team leader of a market center, as what I want to mention, and also right now team leader of your own different teams, right, or combination of teams. So too much to share in only 30 minutes, but I want to hear from you guys, right? The combination of give us some background. Number one. Number two is about the duo, right? And a lot of people trying to kind of partner up, team up. In your specific case, it's the personal relationship and the business relationship. We'd love to hear about that, and of course, educate us about the combination of Echo Real Estate Partners, and then Lyvian. So go for it, guys.
Yeah, Tam, why don't you go ahead and start, babe, with just a quick snapshot. How long you been doing this and stuff?
Oh my goodness. So I have been licensed since 1996. So crazy that's, going on 27 years, right?
Wow.
So yeah, it's been a very interesting ride, I have to say. I have a huge passion for the industry. It's always a little love-hate relationship in real estate, right? But um been doing it a long time. Started out doing a lot of foreclosure and short sale work, and then transitioned to doing a lot of, remodel stuff, acquisitions, overseeing our own investor projects, and then putting those projects back on the market as a luxury listing. So we were kind of like feeding our own pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
It's turned into, a nice referral business for us. We do a lot of, severe referral business. So yeah, it's been good. And it's been good being partners with Branden. We started out at Keller Williams, what, 9 years ago now, Branden?
I think 9 years, yeah.
Yep. And he's definitely the yin to my yang, and it works really great.
Hey,
Yeah.
quick story, by the way. Do you want to, because you mentioned that, do you want to tell about one of your flips that related to a very famous person that unfortunately, passed recently?
Branden, you take that one.
Yeah, so we're actually going to be doing a live workshop for those of you paying attention on Tuesday, June 27th here at the South Bay Market Center. And it's a story about the first home that Ike and Tina Turner ever purchased here in Los Angeles. And Tammy and I were fortunate enough to be our investment team was the ones who purchased that property. We went through a remodel phase, and it's just an amazing story and journey of everything that we learned culturally, generationally, just the trials and tribulations of that whole process, and ultimately what a good story it turned out to be. So we were going to share that, and we're excited about doing that. So if you guys can attend that, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So to finish what Tammy was saying, I think, we've been together 14 years, even though we've been in business a long time, and she said that the yin and the yang. It's real interesting, Meny, as we've been trying to grow, the whole idea of being an independent agent, then partnering, then trying to grow a team, then growing a team, and then going to a mega team, and then going from a mega team into expansion. I mean, there's a lot of amazing opportunity for folks if they really pay attention to what's out there, right? Well, what we learned, and this is important, for the KPA, for those of you who haven't taken one or haven't had it validated yet. So back in the day, Meny, you probably remember, we didn't have really the KPA, it was the AVA.
Right.
And Tammy and I were taking career visioning, and it was a 3-day workshop at the time. And we took our AVAs, and we were taking our AVAs because we wanted to be a mega team. And I remember we got our results while we were in class, and I just was fortunate enough to score higher than Tammy. And Tammy was a little upset. Remember that, honey? You were a little upset.
I was.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah, Tammy got a little bit of a lower grade, and the instructor was great. He just said, listen, it's not about whether you can or can't do it. It's about understanding who you are at your core, who you are naturally. And we took that conversation saying, hey, I might be more of a high D if we're used to the disc, and Tammy's more of a high C, or as an example. And it's how can you complement each other? And we really took that to heart. And the two of us have kind of, I don't want to say divided and conquered, but we've definitely leveraged each other's strengths in both our life and in our business. And just, we've been blessed.
Yeah, 100%. Yes, we complement each other so well. So if I could give any advice to any of the agents that are listening, is just surround yourself with people that make you better, right? Not try to like hire somebody that matches your strengths, but that makes you better. Absolutely.
Yeah, and us promoting the culture of the tribe KW on this coming Monday. We're hosting at the KW Palos Verdes, John Morris, who's our regional tech trainer, and he's an OP and owners of KW offices. He's going to teach CV, right? Like, again, about the KPA and how to hire, how to grow with and through others. So FYI, it's open class. We're sponsoring it in PV at 9 a.m.
That's great to know. For those of you who have never taken it, I would encourage you to, especially if it's not $900 like we paid.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell us, again, as a dynamic duo, and yet, Branden, your evolution as a team lead, right? If it's your own business, with Tammy as a team, right? And then you became also a team leader of a market center in Los Angeles, and then you became a team leader, market center out of state, and now you're back over here to lead a team locally. So tell us a little bit about that, in combination of like any agent out there, right? The market is changing, things changing. How do you adjust? How do you kind of seek an opportunity to, again, keep the business going?
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think the opportunity for me to get into leadership, first of all, as you know, Meny, there were many conversations about asking me if I ever wanted to be a TL, and I used to make comments like you could never pay me enough, and it's still kind of true. I think Simon's on here maybe somewhere, so I'll be careful. But what I learned was a couple things, Meny. I learned that for those of you who are agents or rainmakers on teams here, that the market center model, the franchise model, runs exactly the same way KWRI teaches you how to run your real estate business. And I found that was really eye-opening for me, and it actually made me feel better about what I'm learning and opening my eyes, because the industry always taught me, Meny, that you're a solo agent, here's some tools and resources, but it's up to you to make it happen. And that mindset was for so long. And I just found more ways to make money by expanding my mind into education and learning and listening to other agents' failures and success stories. And, you said it earlier, it's a tribe. Like, I think there's strength in numbers, and sometimes we fail to recognize that. The other thing that I learned being here was that it's okay to have multiple streams of income, and it's okay to have multiple businesses and to be as successful. And that's, most brokerages don't offer that opportunity. And so Tammy and I have been really thankful for all of that.
Question about that, both for you and Tammy. You said it's okay to. Why would the traditional, thinking, or the average, not the and being an average in the sense of like the typical entrepreneur would think that it's not okay or not natural to have multiple streams of income?
Yeah, Tammy, share your thoughts on that.
Well, I mean, yeah, it is a mindset of having, different income streams, different buckets, running different businesses. Yeah, and KW, I mean, that's where I learned that it's all about entrepreneurship, right? So we and Branden and I have really embraced that, right? So we have several different businesses that we're running. The real estate is a big part of that. We have our Echo Real Estate Partners, which is our little boutique, real estate business that we started 9 years ago, that when we joined KW, that will always be our baby. But then we've branched out, and, we want to join some bigger things to elevate us. And I think that that's ultimately where we're going. So Branden, you want to take it from there?
Yeah, I would say, I'm big on Maslow's hierarchy of basic human needs, and we're at a point where we're in that ascension phase. And I think, there's a couple things, and maybe we don't talk enough about this, Meny, and that's self-mastery. I became truly passionate in 2010, and I wanted to become an instructor and a speaker. And I was graced with an opportunity to do that at a national level. And what I mean by that, for those of you listening, is if you were at the team meeting, as an example, we were talking about contracts, and Steve Gottlieb got up and was talking about how you should take ownership of the contract. And that's one small example of saying, if you really want to master the contract, or you want to master anything, then learn how to teach it. Because if you want to become a very good teacher, that's creating the ownership you need to have of the content, the activities. And I think when you can become an instructor or a teacher, you've mastered something that translates into your business and productivity.
I love that, because again, just on a side note, whoever's watching right now and will watch those recordings, it's not just about talking real estate, right? It really is like when you open, right, Branden, Tammy, when you open any kind of book of success, it starts usually with mindset, because that's kind of the foundations of how you approach about things. And I did show in the chat, by the way, excuse me, a link about Maslow hierarchy of needs, what Branden was mentioned. And by the way, which I learned first, I don't know, maybe going 7 years ago with Tony Robbins, when I took his business mastery classes, right? So I'm with you on that. Really, just and on a side note, KW teaches those things as well, right? If you did Quantum Leap or other classes and sessions, Bold even just a little bit of it. So I'm with you 100%, right? It's about the mindset.
Yeah, and I think as you progress, I think what Tammy was alluding to is, and maybe I use the word ascend, but whichever word you want to use, grow, develop, you seek more, you want more challenges, and that's where we've gotten to a place where what's important for us is to stay challenged. Believe it or not, if you're in real estate long enough, you'll realize you're always challenged, because the market changes, the industry changes, people change, society changes, money changes. So if you're somewhat competitive anyway, and you like the challenge, real estate long-term is the perfect place for you, because it's hard to really be complacent and stay in the game. You have to be open to the change, right? And I'm sure we'll probably talk briefly about this, and that's kind of where we're going with Lyvian and why we joined Lyvian.
Yeah, I'm gonna dive into Lyvian in a second. You know, that attitude, right, of abundance and what have you. I think like any other thing in life is just a matter of, you know, consistent practice as well, right? But which both you and Tammy definitely, you know, keep doing it. In a sense of like, you know, maybe I wouldn't know the end result necessarily, but I'm gonna keep showing up every day. That's what we call the self-discipline, and you know, on the part of the quantum leap, and just keep doing what I need to do to build that practice or expand, etc. It doesn't happen overnight, right? That's what people need to understand. It doesn't happen overnight.
No, and some of us just, you know, I see names on this Zoom, and you know, they're hardworking, high-minded individuals, and we have common goals. We're all in the same industry together. Like, we're all in this together. And you know, when I was 16, Meny, I thought I knew it all, and I definitely don't anymore. And I'm glad I don't have that attitude. But there are folks on here that just in a general conversation, I learn things from, because I'm genuinely curious. And I think that curiosity has kept me sharp.
Yes, yeah, I love that.
Well, the longer that you're in this business, it's constantly changing. I mean, our industry is moving so fast. So it's just so important. You know, it's so important who you surround yourself with and what systems you surround yourself with, because you as an individual can only do so much. So you have to tap into those other people or those other systems, or just whoever it is that knows more about things than you do, that can just help you get there faster, be more efficient. So this is just kind of like what we're looking for at this point is, you know, what can we tap into that will make us better?
Yeah, I'm gonna echo that, right? Literally. Because it's not just about who you choose to be in your environment, right? To surround you. It's also who you choose to support back, right? If it's that kind of mutual, purposeful interaction, then the ROI is you know, limitless, pretty much. Tell us about Lyvian.
Branden.
Oh. I first heard about Lyvian through you, Meny, and Jen. I had seen the name. I have heard of Adam Hergenrother, a very large team from the back east. You know, they are another example of hardworking real estate professionals who want more and strive for more and understand probably the one thing that we've struggled with the most, which is systems and models, and leverage, because we've always had that you want something done right, do it yourself mindset. And as we learn more, and I think really the key to that, Meny, was, and maybe we should share that video someday, is the interview at Family Reunion that John Keller had on the Lyvian podcast. And it was really amazing to hear from Gary's son, John, just a different perspective of Keller Williams and what they're trying to do and where they're trying to go. And, you know, a blessing is just to be a part of Keller Williams, because Gary obviously knows a lot, and he's really good at not telling us what to do. He leaves us breadcrumb trails and he opens doors, and it's up to us, right, to figure out how we want to do that. But he is very abundant mind thinking, and he is, again, it's just been great. So I've seen in Lyvian a lot of similarities. And as we learned a little bit more about Lyvian and where they're trying to go, the opportunity came to us to not just be a part of Lyvian, but to bring a new model into the Los Angeles area as far as team building and growth and training and education and all those great things.
Yeah, and I did share on the chat, by the way, the Lyvian brand, rush the website. People are just, curious to know more about that, because we do like, again, to support and promote one another. Tammy?
Yeah, I mean, we're super excited about Lyvian. Yeah, whenever we heard about it, it definitely caught our attention. So I think it has so much to offer as far as supporting the agent in leverage, right? So again, back to what I was saying before about there's only so much that you can do as an individual, or even as a team. So we're really looking forward to tapping into their resources. And if anybody is interested in learning more about it, definitely reach out to us to talk about it.
Yeah, and if you don't mind, just Branden, maybe I'm not sure if Tammy's driving or whatever, but just tap on the chat your best way to reach out to you. And that's exciting. I mean, again, we have between all of our sister offices, like really amazing, solid teams, very successful entrepreneurs, right? That took that ownership and say, nobody succeeds alone, right? So I want to, keep, growing with and through others, and take upon themselves to lead a company within a company, which is, again, part of the KW culture. So that's what you guys doing right now with the Lyvian brand. What does your shirt says, Branden? Never settle.
Never settle, never get up. Never settle, never give up. Yeah. It was probably this is the first KW t-shirt I ever bought, actually. So that tells you anything.
Welcome to the t-shirt club, right? KW t-shirt club.
I put that YouTube link in there, Meny, with John Keller. I think it's just
really... Okay, yeah, great. I just see it right now.
Yeah.
Whoever's watching, maybe you want to click on it, just pause it and come back. So, because after we're going to close the chat, this call, we're not going to have access to it. So another question for you, right? As Branden and Tammy, as business owners, as realtors, very experienced realtors, as team leaders, right now it's, some will say it's a hot market. I see agents out there that they're every single day, new listings, right? Especially if they're in the team structure, if they have systems and models. I see people celebrating, buyers closings on a weekly, daily basis. Different conversation on the street than it was 3-4 months ago. Do you guys feel things picking up, things are changing?
I don't know. I think sometimes we're so focused on the past, we don't understand where we're going. And what I mean by that is, I think what's different now, Meny, is how real estate is so in our face, whether it's a mainstream media, whether it's YouTube, whether it's social media. So that's changed. And I don't like sounding like I'm an old man, but when I started in real estate, we didn't have internet, we didn't have cell phones. And that's really, really crazy to think about where it's come from there. But what I would say is, what happened in the Great Recession, which was 2009, 2010, is not what's happening today. And I think anyone who is trying to sometimes use the past as a guide, I think it's fine to recognize the past, but that's just, we're not in that market. And I don't see people stopping to buy and sell homes. What we've learned to pay attention to, Meny, is the new people that are in the real estate game. And what I mean by the new people is there's so much more corporate money in real estate than ever before. And if large corporations who are in the business to make money have no fear of the real estate market and they're continuing to buy real estate, then we shouldn't either. That's one gauge I look at. But I do feel that this is unique in that we just have a historic low supply, and with that, I don't see a lot of things changing, as far as that goes. There's just other economic things that I don't think we've seen yet that may persuade, but I think people are fearful, and I think the opportunity for you to generate more business for yourself is to get yourself out of the fear, understand what the opportunity is, and help people see, because that's what they expect from us. They expect us to guide them into buying, selling, or investing in real estate.
Which will never change.
Never change. It'll never change. So that goes back to our original point was Tammy and I, our journey has been blended with a nonstop continuation of being in the know of the market and being educated. You know, learning short sales, learning forbearance, learning how to work with investors, learning how to lead generate, learning something that's new and unique, you know, and that might be 72 sold as an example. So there's things and opportunities there. It's just, do you want to go through the door that's been opened for you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tammy, do you want to echo that?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely finding that there were a lot of buyers and sellers that were sitting on the sideline, mainly buyers that were sitting on the sideline, waiting for the market to go down, and it just didn't happen. So we're getting really busy again. Just it's coming out of the woodwork, and we're really excited about it, and we're really excited about the next phase that we're all about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think, you know, the other thing, Meny, I would mention to folks, and I'm not here, I'm not making any money off of this, but Altos Research, probably the only organization who gives you more real-time data than anyone else. So if you're, as an example, reading the news on home sales or home prices, you know that most of that information is 60 to 90 days old. And those are what we call lagging indicators. And to Tammy's point, that's what people are reading now. They don't really necessarily understand really the trends, or maybe I guess the right word would be how to anticipate what may or may happen next. I mean, it's very powerful when you talk to a potential buyer or seller or investor, when you can speak with confidence about the trends that you're seeing. But I'm excited about it because you know, I've been through this, Tammy's been through this, so we know how to work through it. And for those of you who are a little fearful or have never experienced a change in a market or a shift, you know, don't hesitate to reach out and ask, because my guess is, just like you said, Meny, there's going to be millions of home sales happening for the next however long. So
Yeah. And I did share on the chat the Altos report. We do provide that at no cost to you guys to subscribe through one of our companies. So feel free to click on it and, you know, opt in and choose your own area, zip codes, what have you. It's pretty awesome tool. Thanks for the share. Last question for you guys. If you don't mind to promote once again, Branden, what you guys have coming up soon. And on a side note, Branden, you know, again, because we only have such a limited time, Branden is also a trainer. And I think that's how we first met. When you were teaching at one of my market centers when I was a team leader years back, I brought you over to teach the negotiations.
Yeah, we taught the certified negotiation expert class. Yes.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
And so tell a little bit more about that. And I'm not sure if you have any scheduled sessions coming up soon in our.
Yeah, so we're post-COVID. We kind of slowed things down during COVID, but our training company is called the RealEstate, Meny, and we not only teach the 2-day negotiating class, we have a 2-day pricing strategy class. We are now teaching, for those of you who want to work in the distressed property space, it's called the Certified Distressed Property Expert designation. And then we just launched the Certified Investor Agent Specialist designation course. That's a 2-day course. We'll be getting all of that on the schedule, Meny, but it's funny because that CIAS, the Certified Investor Agent Specialist class, when I became an instructor for them, you know, our business quadrupled working in the investor space. And you want to talk about the difference between the number of investors in the market 10 years ago compared to now. They're all over the place. Everyone's interested in real estate. They just need to understand what the opportunity is. And if you don't know how to show them what that opportunity is, you're missing a potential sale, right? So I guess that's how we look at things, Tammy and I think every property has an opportunity, and how we encourage our real estate agents to help buyers and sellers starts with education.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, you always have to be on top of your game, right?
Yeah, I'll type it in the chat real quick. And then we just need to get some of that stuff on the calendar.
Exactly, yeah. And you mentioned that your next class is June 20 what? 20
Well, we're doing the 𝐑𝐞𝐚𝐥 on June 21st.
21st at the
Yeah.
South
Or
Bay
no,
Mall.
sorry, June 27th. My bad.
27th.
Yeah,
Sounds
yeah, and Holland will be sending out that information today.
Got
Yeah.
it. Yeah, and Miguel was asking something about through CR or the South Bay board. No, I think. Oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah, Miguel, it's a private class, and we actually talked to the South Bay, and they're willing to host it for us as well. So once we get the dates and times and the location, we'll let everybody know.
Yeah. Tammy, final thoughts before I'm gonna let you guys go.
I just thank you, Meny, for everything. Really love your office, love our office, and yeah, if anybody wants to chat with us, just stop by and see us.
Yeah, that's awesome. Tammy, Branden, thank you guys making some time to share with our agents some thoughts, experience, mindset, and some good classes that are coming up soon. So thank you guys. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Meny. Everybody have a good weekend.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, Tammy. Thanks, Branden.
Bye-bye.